a group with a hard to pronounce name. We're called ZZ Top.
Yes.
Please tell us what is the main plot of the video.
The piece that we're performing tonight is called The History of Electricity, and it's kind of like a mythical thought of what electricity is. I have a very abstract visual that I'm showing because electricity for me is magic. So it's very abstract, very black and white. Usually my work is very colorful, but in this show it's completely black and white.
It was originally a commissioned piece for a museum in the north of Germany, in Oldenburg, who they did a exhibition of the energy supply of the region, and they asked us to create a entertaining program to go with it. It's the history of electricity more in a metaphorical sense. We're not really telling the history, but you could look at electricity as a young and beautiful woman, or you could look at electricity as a favorite dish. You could replace electricity with the word revolution. We keep it fairly open for ourselves how we look at it, playing music in the first place. I always say there is music that I can only play with Einstürze Neubauten, and then there's music that I can definitely not play with Einstürze Neubauten, which doesn't make it less important music, quite on the contrary. I need to do things aside from that band. It is not only my pleasure, it is my responsibility. In fact, I don't have a choice. I have to create music, and I have to make noise, and I have to make myself heard. It is my obligation.
What's the main thing for success in music? What do you think?
Well, I'd be glad if I knew. The only thing I can say is that it is very important to be very ignorant and very stubborn, and to follow your own vision no matter what anyone tells you. Even if that road will not lead you to immediate success, it is very important. It is essential to follow your own vision, and to stay true to yourself. If it's like a hip hop way of saying keep it real. No, I don't want to say that. Follow that path. I mean, that is taking for granted that you have a vision. And another thing is to always be alert and to be awake, and to absorb everything that's going on around you, and to experiment. Never be afraid of combining things with each other that might not belong together. Never be afraid to create a mutant. Be a Frankenstein. Create artificial life. I think that's important.
So that was the beginning of the history of electricity, when electricity was a little girl. Now she's coming of age. This is when electricity discovers love.
No, I don't think people need the mainstream. It's definitely not my concern. And the mainstream is just something that's there. You can observe, look at it closely, see what is what is that draws people to it? Why do so many people? Why is there popular music like in the charts? Why is it so popular? But for me, mostly it inspires me because so much of it I just hate so much that it gives me inspiration to do something different. There's always, you can get lucky and find good stuff. My problem is that I cannot switch off my analytic hear music. I always take it apart in my mind and check how is it done. And no matter if it feels good, and most of the mainstream music just doesn't feel good to me.
Makes the music now? Yes, what is interesting, what is actual now?
There's a tendency, like in Europe, in Western Europe, you get more and more parties where people use like Balkan brass music and stuff, like Balkan beats, and people learn to appreciate like Eastern European cultures. But I don't know. Also, one thing is, as soon as somebody asks me this, I go completely blank. I can't remember any music that I like as soon as you ask me that.